Calvin Crosby, Executive Director for Kaliba, and my partner in crime, Ann Seaton, is here with me as well. Today we're going to talk about the marketing campaign for fall, and we have the honor of having Christiane from Shelf Awareness on joining us. You're in Portland, aren't you? Or are you in
Seattle?
Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
It all gets mushy now.
Up there.
Up there. You're up there. So she'll be able to answer the questions on that. And then our experts are Shoshana Smith from Flashlight in Walnut Creek and Mimi Hannon from La Playa Books in San Diego. We thought we would start with just a brief overview of what we call a marketing campaign and catalog. The print catalog is a piece of this. And during these times, we're very much paying attention to how much of a piece it will be moving forward. It comes with social media assets that Kaliba runs through all of their social media feeds, as well as sends them to the participating stores for them to use on their social media. There will be, and this should probably be downloadable, but there will be assets for in-store, as well as for you to be able to use on your website. And then the shelf awareness piece is the direct-to-consumer piece that goes from your mailing list to your customers. And I think this year, more than ever, we see what an asset this is, as we have driven so many of our customers to our website. So we can continue doing that through the fourth quarter. And what did I miss?
Well, and if you haven't done this shelf piece before, these links go directly to your website's e-commerce site to make that buy easier for them. I'm reading this, easily shareable to your social media. And we have quite a good variety of books. So and we'll be sending out links for anybody that signed up for the catalog program, that if you choose to opt into the shelf awareness piece, we'll need your logo, a return address, and your mailing list. And actually, that information will go right to shelf. So is there anything Christiane wants to add?
Yeah, would you talk about how secure the server and the whole process and how there has not been a data breach?
Yeah, we keep all of your emails basically stored in the same way. If you use like MailChimp or Constant Contact, it's this spot where your newsletter list just sends your newsletter. And we did that British compliance when they were doing that, what was it, like last year? We just made ourselves compliant because we expected that was going to be something that was going to come up here. So as far as safety of lists and making sure that everything's, going out to just your folks, and they have easy unsubscribe options if they feel they're not an email customer. So yeah, and the buttons do link to your e-commerce. I know one question that comes up a lot is if you don't have e-commerce, there's other options available to you as well. I wouldn't write it off entirely if you don't have e-commerce. We can always work on details for that.
Okay. Something else in there I was going to reiterate. And Shelf does not use it for their own purposes at all. Like it is only used for this purpose. That's what it is.
Yeah, part of the sign up process is like, this is what I'm signing up for, and only this. And we have
so it's your logo. It replies to your email address. We're just the hub that it points through, so that you don't have to do all the footwork.
Okay. Questions? Anything else, Calvin? We talked about social media, website integrations, that kind of thing.
I do want to mention while it's in the front of my brain, if you haven't looked at the title list, please look at the title list. It is, I want to say it's the most compelling title list we've ever put out. It has at least a 32% BIPOC inclusion. And then I think we've always had LGBTQ titles in, and this year we kept that going as well. So definitely recognizing that the world does not just look like a certain set of people.
Yeah. It's a really inclusive list.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's all on our website. There are a few more things that are, we're still adding, there are a couple of titles that still might be added at this point. We're still working on that, so. Oops, I can't hear you.
At least I'm enunciated enough that you can
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah,
Stacy wants to know, can the emails link to bookshop.org.site if we don't have e-commerce?
yes.
Yes, we have a way to link it so it just points to your affiliate page. So it doesn't go to like the general page. It just points to your affiliate page that will, so it functions as your e-commerce. That is an option.
And Stacy says thanks.
Mhm.
I think that's how yours works, Mimi, right?
Yeah, it does. And it goes straight to the title on our page. So it's been really successful because we couldn't figure out how to get specific titles to go to. So like if we were doing social media, to have them go to Bookshop without going to the general site. But now we figured out how to do that, and Shelf Awareness has been doing that from the get-go. And now that Bookshop has made people's stores more sticky, it's even better. So if they happen to click on your Shelf Awareness link for a particular title for the next, I think, 30 days or 60 days, every time they open bookshop.org, they will go to your store site. So that's great. That started a couple weeks ago, that they were, trying to keep people loyal to a particular bookshop.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So we've had, from our store's perspective, we're small, we're mostly used, but in this new post-COVID environment, we've lost the majority of our used book sales because of no in-store browsing, which we've chosen not to have still. And so having Shelf Awareness and having an integration with Bookshop has been really helpful for our store. We're also, in addition to being physically small, we're pretty short staffed, and obviously every sale takes much longer these days than it used to. So Shelf Awareness and integrated with Bookshop is a totally zero touch seamless thing that just results in like 30%. And yes, it's not the 40% we would get from Ingram, or even higher than that we would get from the publishers, but we don't have to stress about returns. It's nice from that perspective of keeping it streamlined. Of course, the touch doesn't look as much like our store, obviously, as if we were doing everything ourselves or through indie commerce. But for our store being a used store and this being an unusual time of selling new books, it's worked really well for us.
Mm-hmm. And what about the rest of the catalog program for you? The print, what other pieces have you used?
Yeah, so in the past couple years, we've used the holiday print catalog as well as the summer print catalog, and just had the minimum quantity sent to us. And again, it's completely free. In addition to being small, we don't have a lot of marketing budget to throw at things. And so, these physical things show up. We already have stamps that say our store name and address. We just use those on the print catalogs, and we stuff them in every bag that we're selling. So we're doing curbside pickup right now. So I definitely plan to, have the fall catalog in there early, hopefully starting in September or October. And, I thought,
You got muted.
sorry. I thought Shoshana's idea, I'll permanently unmute myself instead of space barring. I thought Shoshana's idea of having like an order form, because we have we're in the Point Loma neighborhood in San Diego, so we have kind of an older clientele, and I can imagine them wanting to go through the physical catalog and checking off what they want to order and then giving us an order form. I think that might be really great, because every time they pick up their books, they're like, oh, okay, now I can order my holiday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we haven't been doing appointment browsing, but I think we're going to start for the holidays, and we're going to start promoting that in like September, October of, start your holiday shopping early. We're going to ask people to buy a gift card in advance that they can use for their shopping. And that way it's not like, hey, this is just your July beach read. It's, you can get all your holiday shopping and browsing done in our store safely all at once and early on. But anyway, back to the print catalog instead of just marketing thoughts. So from shelf awareness in general, and specifically from the holiday catalog last year, we had people saying like, wow, that was the best email you guys ever sent. Like yesterday, my neighbor was like, I love the emails that I get from La Playa Books, which are like a lot of shelf awareness emails. So that's probably what she was talking about. So we really like the print catalog because it's free. We just use it as a bag stuffer. And then the shelf for the newsletter piece of it and the e-commerce piece of it. And then, we do try to use social media assets and all of that just to complement it, bring some of the books in to have them as window displays, all of that kind of stuff as well. But the freeness and the no-brainerness, with shelf, you can certainly put in a lot of your own messaging if you want to. And I'm assuming the catalog will be the same way, where there's, an area where you can, say something more personal that's to do with your store. But if you don't do that, it still looks awesome and people love it. So that's kind of our experience at La Playa Books.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Shoshana? How are things?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just how'd it go for you?
So we've had a lot of success with the whole program. We're a pretty new store. We opened about a year and a half ago. And so last holiday season, we signed up for the whole program, and we went the extra bit where we had the catalogs inserted into local newspapers, which did cost money, but honestly not that much money. And we got a lot of new customers from that. We got a lot of people saying, we didn't know you existed. So as a new store, it was really beneficial, though from experience, even established stores, you're going to have those people who didn't know you existed, even if you've been there for 20 years. So that was really great. And the emails from Shelf have been really great too. We just have them go direct to our Indie Commerce page. We use Indie Light in conjunction with Handseller, and the folks at Shelf were really good about, it makes our linking kind of weird, and they were really good about figuring a way to link direct to us. And at one point we were told that we had this really high open rate, which was really exciting for us. And we do get people coming in and saying, oh, I want this book from the email you just sent out, which I would add, if you do sign up for those, make sure you read the emails, because when they come in saying, I'm looking for this book from the email you sent out, and you go, what email? It doesn't look good.
Katie is asking, how many newspapers did you insert in?
So, and the truth is, I don't know a ton of details because
I might have that somewhere.
It was handled for us.
Yeah,
which was also wonderful.
Yeah.
So I know it was with the East Bay Times or one of their branch things.
I know I have that information somewhere. I can dig around and see if I can find it. But yeah.
I can give you anecdotal history, and papers like the East Bay Express or in Marin, like the Pacific Sun, tend to be really good distribution points if you do choose to insert.
I want to say we had like 3,000 or 5,000 catalogs distributed through the newspaper thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, it was handled for us, which makes it hard for me to say, but
right.
made it really easy for us.
Yeah,
Vicky made it so easy.
I can find that information. And let's talk a little bit about branding. I mean, you can opt in. I don't know, Calvin, if you want to talk about opting in and the branding, I'm looking for Shoshana's information here just to answer that other question.
So to imprint, we do require, because it costs like $300 or $400 per plate change, which just means that every time we add a new logo or new store information, that fee goes into place. So we don't pass that on to the bookstores. We cover that, but we do ask for a minimum. Historically, it has been 5,000. Ann and I are putting some numbers together. We're probably going to bring it down to 3,000 because 5,000 seems a little hefty right now. But that's branded that you can insert and or pass out at your store, and it'll have your logo and your store information on it. And historically, to what Mimi was saying, we've always had a room for, there's a little bit of information about your store, or you can write a letter thanking them for choosing your store. If you don't imprint, the catalogs are still of use. If you've opted into the program, on the non-imprinted catalogs that I think Cleva will still be inserting, every store that's participating will be on that back page. We may divide it up on the state depending on participation, but I think we will be able to fit everybody onto one page. Does that make sense? Any questions about that?
Yeah, we had people come from those inserts that we didn't pay for that Kaliba just put in with the San Diego stores into the San Diego UT. We had people come in from that too. More free marketing.
Yeah. And if you're pulling from your stock, it's free packing material this year too.
I mean, we use the Indie Next stuff. You know, it's always nice, we feel like, to have just some extra stuff in the bag for people, like, ooh, a discovery of, like, it makes them feel special, like they're learning about stuff that they wouldn't have learned about otherwise. So people see it as not junk. When it's a book-related thing, people don't see it as spam. People don't see it as junk. For some reason, they see it as like, wow, this is valuable information to me. It's not like shoes, you know?
Yeah. Which I find valuable.
Yeah. So I found Flashlight's information from last year. They inserted into the East Bay Times 8,575 copies into the East Bay Times.
Okay, so way more than I thought.
Yeah.
That's a
But
pretty
yeah, it was
impressive number.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. Like, it definitely paid off what we invested into it. And it definitely raised our profile, which was really great.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting too, Flashlight, because you started out kids focused, and from previous conversations we've had, you said you were surprised at how many people wanted adult literature too. And so how has that changed in your store?
And well, the shelf stuff, especially the emails, have actually been a part of us realizing the demands of our community, because the big reactions we're getting to these shelf awareness emails that are like mostly adult books. And we were going to be like, you know, maybe 10% adult, like a very small nominal section, and mostly be children and teens. And at this point, we're at 20 or 23% adult. And it's those emails that are getting such high open rates from us that are advertising, like, you know, summer reads for adults and book club books and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely shaped how we're changing this. I mean, we're not changing our mission or our premise or anything, but it's helped us adapt to the community.
Mm-hmm. And the catalog, by the way, the titles, it's almost a 50-50 split, kids and adults. A few less kids than adults, but we have a really good kids representation.
And the
Always
kid
important.
selection is incredible this year.
Always important. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the kid book sales go up tremendously over the holidays, so that makes sense.
questions, discussions, thoughts, anybody?
The one last plug I'd put in is that whenever I have, questions or need help with stuff, I work directly with Christiane, and she's super easy and responsive to work with. So thank you for being so easy and responsive.
Thanks, Mimi.
Yeah.
I just want to agree with that. Like I said, our linking on our site is kind of funky. And everybody's just been so good to work with, and so helpful about, helping it run smooth and letting us know when our open rates are really high, which just always makes us happy. It's just all around been this really fantastic experience that honestly adds no stress to your life. It might add stress to Christiane's, but she's very great. So
It's fun to problem solve.
I'm copying the link. I think most of the people on the call here have indeed signed up already. Once again, to reiterate, you need to opt in just even to be on the store list. We don't want anybody to have their name on a catalog that they don't feel they want it. So we really insist that people opt into this. And from there, you can choose print catalog, shelf awareness, website integration, whatever social media, all of those things. And whatever ideas you have, like, the whole idea of the order list came from conversations with Shoshana. It's like, that's a great idea. So we'll try and get that, like an editable version of that together, so you can download and make it your own.
And I mean, that's one of the things that's so great about shelf awareness and it coming over email is it catches those impulse buyers, those people who are the same impulse buyers that read the, review in the New York Times and they just want to click and buy that book right now. They're reading about it and you capture that sale instantly, especially once, for us or, any of you guys that have e-commerce, once they've got their e-commerce and they bought one book from you, it's, the next sale and the sale after that are much easier.
We hope it plays into that marketing. You have to see something at least 3 times before it really clicks in. So if they're seeing the bag stuff, if they're seeing it in their newspaper and then they get it in their email, it's like, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had many conversations, I feel like, with Christiane of like, come on, we can't do this twice a week, every week. Like, it can't be good. Like, can we do it less? And she's like, no, it's better. And we have very few unsubscribes. So even though it makes me nervous and I feel like people are going to freak out, they never seem to. So,
and that's the other thing, scheduling wise, it will be, the holiday catalog is 4, correct? And I don't think you've chosen the dates yet, or else I don't know them. But
we have loose dates.
We have the dates. We were, and this year, last year we kind of butted it up right into the holiday season. We're talking about setting up in advance to leave the messaging for anything the stores want to put through closer to Christmas. So like our 4 weeks will start like early mid-November and go through maybe mid-December, kind of broken up like that. Because some of the feedback we got is, well, that's when I send out my list for stores to buy from. And so we're just trying really hard not to step on whatever the store is already doing, and shifting that email schedule is part of that.
And imagining that everybody's going to be super busy during those, hopefully not a whole month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we'll get the catalog?
The catalog comes beginning of November. Yeah, they ship.
Okay. Just because I'm brand new to this, so I'm like,
yeah,
trying to grasp.
And then we'll have 4 dates that'll be, one day a week, like a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and it'll be 4 weeks that those emails go out. And I think last year we sent sort of a spreadsheet that said on this day, these titles will be there, this day, these titles will be there, this day, these titles. And so you'll know kind of in advance what's going out.
And I think you guys separated it by like children's and different, the 4 weeks had different kind of themes, right? They weren't just a mix. Am I remembering that right?
I remember them being a mix because
Okay.
this year I really want us to have a theme.
Yeah. The feedback we got is that people prefer themes, so we're going to work on that.
I just imagined it into a theme because I thought that would be better.
No, I think that was a agreement with everybody.
Sometimes it feels like a theme by what's on top.
Mm-hmm.
It
That's
feels
true.
like, oh, this is, you know, picture books, or this is coffee table books, or
And I'd say show of hands, but
It's also really helpful to, it's really helpful getting the time ahead of time. And I do recommend bringing in at least like one of the tops if you don't have them already, because people will show up and like want it immediately. And then it sometimes does look a little weird if you're like, oh, we've never carried that.
Yeah, or get them into your system at least. And once again, Ingram is going to be offering terms on the catalog titles. They always support us in that way, you know, extra percentage for a period of time. So you can indeed, you know, order them in as you need, and get some extra discount. You don't have to do like a separate order. You know, our stores will be coded with, when these comes in, you just automatically get that extra discount.
yeah, they've been really good. They, in the past, and Baker Taylor did this too, where you could order a display box. So basically you had enough to build a display around the catalog.
Yeah, like
And
one of everything, or one of, you know, that kind of thing, or you can pick and choose. But they'll be backing us up again that way.
And then did everybody on this call know about or participate in the summer shelf awareness catalog that we sent out?
Some people are a little too new.
Yeah, too new. The results came back really good as far as our click-through rate. Like it was,
Mhm.
I only looked at the aggregate numbers, but it was healthy.
Mhm.
Anybody have any questions on any other aspect, social media or imprinting, or questions on imprinting or not imprinting, to imprint or not to imprint?
Okay, so I'm just curious, is anybody else connected their bookstore to a cafe?
Well, book passages.
Yeah.
But once again, oh, you had that question. You had indeed sent in this question that I should have read. Let's see. When's the best time to start the holiday program? Let's see. Since we are doing social distancing, and may not have many in our store, what's the best way to reach our customers? Well, the shelf piece, I think, is that.
Yeah.
And newspaper insertions. And you're connected to a cafe, so cross-marketing. If you were to brand, you know, you get a place to put your logo and everything, but there's also a place for you to put a letter to your customers, or you could put a coupon or an ad for the cafe or something like that, should you choose to brand your catalogs with Depot Books.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I could put them around the cafe. I mean, if there people aren't entering into the bookstore part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you have a lot of people you can capture right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And let's see, what's the best time to start the holiday program? Well, our program will start with the shelf awareness pieces, and the catalogs themselves should land in the stores and at newspapers to be inserted shortly after that, within a week or so after that. And the social media pieces will be interspersed through that same time period. Did I get that right, Calvin?
Time is squishier this year, so I think we're going to try to coordinate it so everything kind of lands maybe even the week before the shelf goes out, so that way you're ready for it. We're just guessing a lot.
Because I'm brand new to this. Is the self-awareness piece all email?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're hoping to have everything in place a little bit before the first shelf goes out. And we definitely will have the social media assets, there are words for these things. They're called assets in advance so that you can schedule them out ahead of time too. And you can always just retweet or regram whatever we're doing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, so find us on social media and just regram it from there is a great way to go. There's something else about that I can't think of right now.
But again, to what Christiane said earlier, sometimes the more you see something, the more you realize you need it. So Instagram is good for that.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we do Facebook too, and Instagram, and whatever else we can figure out between. I don't think we're no TikTok for us yet. So. But you know,
if we were getting together in person as a board, we would totally be doing TikToks, but we can't, so too bad.
Yeah, Christiane, do you want to drop your email in the chat? Are you able to do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, so people can reach out should they want to. And you know, you can find us. I'm going to do ours.
And I will say the whole team at Shelf is just really easy to work with. So.
They are.
It's because they're on the West Coast. Best Coast.
Yeah.
So, Anne, we have a question.
Oh, can you please summarize what the costs are? The costs are totally free to the bookstore. Should you choose to insert in your local newspapers, that's the piece that you would need to pay for. That's where there's some costs. And, you know, I think the typical costs that people ran last year, typically it was around maybe $300.
Yeah,
There's some people that did more and some people that did less, but we can help you sort out that piece of it as well. But other than that, it's totally free to the bookstore. We'll put it together, and I know, Stacy, you signed up, as I think everybody on this call has so far. You'll receive an email where we're going to ask for all your pieces. If we don't have your logo already, we need it. And do you want a brand or not? Do you want to insert the newspapers or not? And all that kind of stuff. So we'll be following up with you to capture all that information. And if you have any questions, just let us know, and we'll help you sort through it all. So expect that email in the next week or so.
That's great, thank you. And yeah, I've already reached out to our local newspaper to get a quote from them on, I don't even know what their circulation is like, honestly, in terms of how many they distribute each week. But they're gonna get back to me on numbers, so thank you.
Good.
Definitely check their circulation, because we're not hearing good things throughout the state.
Yeah, but and what we can do is we organize it so the catalogs get shipped directly from our printer to your newspaper distribution source, so you don't even have to touch them.
Yeah.
So we'll help coordinate all of that with you.